guys? It's your commissioner speaking. And yes, week one is done and over with. And like you say, I'm ready for week two. But anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and see what happened this week. Check it out. That's right. How you guys like that intro? So before I forget, thank you to Tony for coming out with this introductory video, which is very, very awesome, professional, and I would never have been able to do anything like that. So thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate it. So big hands. All right, you guys. So yeah, so we have a couple of different formatting changes this year, mainly because of different programs and computer issues, and 2020 being upon us. So yeah, so this is week one of the COVID season. So everything's been shuffling around and everything, and things are new, things are changing, but hopefully it's all for the best. So without further ado, let's check out our highlight players. So check out the quarterback. This guy. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers, man. He's a typical big name player that most people are writing him off already, right? As a little bit going over the hill. The Packers draft a new rookie quarterback, right? So it was a kind of shaky little selection, but it's still Aaron Rodgers, and obviously he proved us that he's still Aaron Rodgers by this performance. A whopping 32 passing, completions, 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, a whopping 65.26 points, and that belongs to big man Cody. So Cody, good job, sir. You have the highest and the best quarterback on week one. Good job. All right, so let's go right on with our running back. Let's see who it is. My boy Josh Jacobs. So yeah, so he was very exciting to watch. Week one, Josh Jacobs versus Christian McCaffrey, and they were both really good this week. But obviously, Josh Jacobs took the nub as the better player this week. 25 rushing attempts. Remember, each rushing attempt is half a point. So Orly rewards an attempt to a run as a half a point. So that's why running backs in general give us so much more points. Because if they do a lot of attempts and then they're doing a lot of catching and receiving, right? So it turns out to be a lot of points. So yeah, so 25 attempts, 93 rushing yards, caught 4 balls for 46 yards and 3 touchdowns. So that came out to a whopping 51.4 fantasy points. And that, of course, belongs to Anthony. So, Anthony, good job, sir, on that selection with Josh Jacobs. All right, so check out the wide receiver. Devonta Adams. That guy, 14 receptions. 14, you guys. That's crazy. 156 yards, 46.6 fantasy points. Of course, that was with 2 touchdowns added to that. So yeah, so that belongs to Cody. So guess what, Cody? You had Aaron Rodgers and Devonta Adams. That duo combined for over 100 fantasy points, and that is ridiculously good. So good job on that pair up. So I'm sure that's going to carry you very deep this year, pending injuries, right? Knock on wood. All right, but yeah, really good job on pairing those two up, Cody. Good job. All right, so our next 3 positions, you guys. Obviously, I'm filming this on a Wednesday, September 16th. Mexican Independence Day, by the way. It is not Cinco de Mayo. It's Mexican Independence Day, September 16th. So, yay, hole. So, yeah. So, anyway, so by now, a lot of the waiver wires have gone through. So, some of these players were actually free agents during week one. So, now they have a home. So, let's kind of cover that real quick. Check out the tight end. Dallas Goedert. So yeah, so Philly's second tight end. You know, of course, they also have Zach Ertz, but Goedert made the number 1 tight end this week with 8 receptions, 101 yards, and 1 touchdown for 28.1 fantasy points. So that is super good. Again, he was a free agent over week 1, but now belongs to Michael. So Michael, good pickup, sir. All right, so similar story with our kicker. Check it out. That's right. So Mason Crosby from the Packers. The kicker had 5 extra point attempts, 2 field goals for a total of 18 fantasy points. And now that belongs to Cody. So Cody, that's another name drop for you. So again, little caption here: Mason Crosby was a free agent on week 1, but now belongs to Cody. So Cody, good pickup on that kicker. So let's hope he continues. And last but not least, check out our defense. That's right, the Washington football team. All right, they have a brand new name for this 2020 season. I think it's still pending, so they just call it the Washington football team. So we all pretty much know that already. By a whopping 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble, a whopping 44 fantasy points. Again, Washington was a free agent over week 1 and now belongs to Lino. So Lino, you sniped that one out of me. I wanted to get the Washington football team's defense. Since my defense did horribly, I had the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they got me like 4 points. So I was trying to pick out Washington. Obviously now it belongs to Lino, so I had to go with the backup in my head, which was the Packers. So I picked out the Packers defense simply because they're versing Philly, and we all see what Washington did to Philly this past week. So I'm like, well, let's hope the Packers have some kind of luck with that as well. So that was my analogy behind my pick. So yeah, like I said, a lot of free agents are gone. I've seen a lot of pickups already. Injuries, right? So we have what's his name? Marlon Mack got hurt, maybe out for the season. I'm not quite sure if they finalized that yet. My number 1 pick overall, Michael Thomas, I think is going to be out for a couple weeks, so I'll have to bench him already. So yeah, it's a lot of injuries like that that are already affecting us in week 1. So, but remember, guys, it's only week 1, so no need to stress yet. All right, guys, so those were our highlight players of the week. Before I get to the MVT and the donkey, I just wanted to make a small little comment. Obviously, this being COVID season, we already started with COVID season problems. So as you all know, we had a small issue with our, big issue with our draft. You know, I have preset the draft order as instructed by the previous video with the draft order, right? So I had made all the placements. Somehow the league randomized the draft order an hour before the draft started. So sadly, I did not come to the house until 15 minutes before our drafts begun. So that's when I logged in and I noticed the countdown and I noticed the actual draft order being different. And I was trying super hard to fix it. But once that countdown begins, it's locked. Anything that was supposed to be modified pre-draft, so such as, like the positions, how I added a position for, for injuries, right? For injured players and all that stuff. A lot of those settings are only done pre-draft. So once that countdown begins, all that stuff becomes locked and I was unable to change anything. The only option was to have everybody out of draft. I would reset the rosters and choose a different day for the draft to be. But we did it one day before the draft, and the league does not allow drafts to be done on game days. So we would have lost the Thursday game already with all those players. So I'm so glad you guys were actually nice about it. I didn't hear too many people complain, besides, not complain, but upset. I think you guys were all good sports with that, so I do appreciate you guys being nice. I do have one comment that I need to share with everybody, just so everybody's aware. I feel really bad for Mike. Mike, obviously, we all know last year I named him the Super Bowl champ, and then the stat correction came along that bumped him into second, so we all know about that problem. Now, this year, we're starting fresh. He was the number 1 pick overall based on our draft order, and then the whole shuffling took him out of the first. So, I mean, obviously, if you have the number 1 pick, right, you're going to have a really good chance. I just made a whole video about that as well. So he went from having the number 1 pick to, I believe, 4th or 5th or something like that. So that is not fair for anybody, but given that Michael had the number 1 pick, he made a request for me to honor this draft order this year to be used next year. So this draft order that was supposed to be done, that got shuffled last minute, will be used for next year's draft order. And that is a request by Michael and me as a commissioner. I want to go ahead and honor that, but I wanted to run that through you guys to make sure you're okay with it and you don't have any problems. And I mean, I think it just makes sense. We all had that position already in place and it didn't go through. So I would like to go ahead and make it official that next year we'll be using the draft order that we were supposed to have this year. All right, but if you guys have any comments or concerns or issues or whatever about it, please reach out to me. The sooner I know about it, the more time we have to fix it. Okay, so if you guys have any issues with that, let me know. If you're okay with it, then we'll just go on and hope next year we have no COVID and no COVID problems. All right, you guys. So, all right. So, putting that all aside, check out our most valuable team. Lino. So he gets week 1 MVT honors. So he scored 221 points. What 221.7, and I think that was only like 1 point away from Anthony, but 221 was the number 1 score this week. So good job on that, Lino. And Donkey. Yes, I am the donkey this week. I only scored 138.6. That was the lowest of the week this week. So yeah, and this week on week 2, Lino and I are versing each other. So we have the MVT versing me, the donkey. So that's going to be a great matchup to see. Hopefully I come back and knock something out of the water. So Lino, I am thirsty for a win. So watch out. All right, guys. So good job on that. So MVT, the donkey, the highlight players, my small comment about the draft. Thank you, Tony, for that great intro. And hopefully I didn't miss anything. So, okay, you guys, so we're ready for week 2. I already saw a lot of people being picked up from the waiver wire, myself included. I got a little crazy with it this week. Hopefully I don't regret it. But yeah, that was week 1 in the bubble, you guys. So we'll be here next week for week 2. All right, peace out.